beautiful Somerset village. So there's Charles Dowding. He seems to be having a nice time. I did have a bit of a chat to him later. Here's the no-dig magic ingredients. Sort of mulchy stuff, manure-y stuff, and wood chip. Some nice Calabri. Lettuces on stalks, covered up with netting to keep the sparrows off. So compost is important, doing a proper job. And this one, they've got some cardboard to keep the heat in, and I think that's probably what it is, to keep the heat in.
I mean, it won't necessarily be quick.
Oh, it's got a temperature gauge as well. Look at that, 75 degrees centigrade. Wow, that is hot. Yeah, 75 degrees, that is hot. Of course, if you get the compost hot, it kills off all the weed seeds in it. These potatoes look like they're planted on a dung heap. I can see the dung heap underneath there. So they'll be getting sufficient nutrients. Oh, look, big horse there. Some nice globe artichokes there. And looks like what they call walking stick kale, or tree kale, or everlasting kale, perennial. There's nice lettuces, all different colours. So most things can be used for a mulch, and here's some wood shavings which are being sort of rotted off a bit, to rot down a bit. I think if you use things like wood shavings too fresh, they'll take all the nitrogen out of the soil. So a little notice here about what's going on. Treated by the rain, I think. So cucumbers growing up strings with French marigolds. No sign of any mildew like mine all have. But it's in a nice open polytunnel, so it gets a bit of draft through, which of course my conservatory doesn't get. And then basil plants down the side here, which are looking really good. So there's some aubergines here planted on a sort of compost bin, which is a great idea. And we've got temperature gauge here, so the compost bin is only at 40 degrees centigrade, so not too hot, whereas that other one was about 80, wasn't it? Something like that. So obviously you wouldn't want it too hot for growing plants on the compost heap. But the aubergines are looking more or less alright, and there's a cucumber over there. So a variety of varieties of aubergines. So probably a test plot to see how it goes. So this is interesting. This polytunnel has been put here on basically just on a lawn, and so you've got the lawn here, and then they've put where the beds are, they've put manure, and then looks like they've covered it up with some slightly less rich compost. So this is an idea where you don't actually even have to dig, you know, when you're doing a polytunnel, and what's in here is great. This is the other end from the cucumbers, and tomatoes looking very, very well. No leaves burning off like mine, and the stems are very strong. Looks like he's growing a lot of sea holly here. Don't know why that is, I have to look it up. And they're around by something that looks like shallots. And then more of that sea holly type stuff by the lettuces. They are some big cabbages. I'll have to do the head test to see if it's as big as my head. Yes, definitely as big as my head. So this is Taunton Kale, and it's a perennial plant and it's 5 years old. And it doesn't ever seed, so you have to take cuttings from it. But it's a very useful plant, especially in the spring. So this greenhouse, this cedar greenhouse, is a new one, and it actually cost £9,000. So something not to do quickly. There's some sea kale there, and Californian poppies, I'd say. Sea kale makes quite a nice decorative plant. Broad beans mixed in with the fruit trees. There's apple trees here. So it's a bit of a potager's garden. And there's a willow hedge here. I think this is possibly to stop the windbreak, but it's also hiding the shed a bit. Don't know what's in the shed. Looks like it might be something to do with water, because it's got pipes coming out the roof. Why? It's a compost toilet. Helen's going to use it so she can give her views on it after use. I thought it was a sort of watering shed or something. And then you have to sprinkle. Helen, you going to go in there?
Yes.
Sprinkle sawdust on it. No, come on the camera. Right. Can you tell us what it was like in the compostable toilet then?
Well, you have to use the one on the right if you want to pee, and the one at the left
For number two.
for number two. And the one at the right is full of straw.
Oh.
And you mustn't put your paper in that.
No.
The one on the left you can put paper in, but you've got to put some wood shavings in as well.
And does it say if they're used on the garden?
It does, yes.
And they are?
Yes.
What for?
I think the one on the left is put round fruit trees, and on the one on the right is... it's got a lot of nitrogen in it.
Well, this is a thoroughly pleasant afternoon at the No Dig Garden.